Everyone, I am Sayli. I am developer at Matic. It is basically a blockchain scaling company. And today I am going to talk about how to start with building on blockchain or say Ethereum. So just a second. So we are going to discuss about accounts, transaction, what are smart contracts, and then simply build a small DApp, that is decentralized application, and will understand how this smart contract will interact with your application. Okay, so let's start. First is accounts. What is accounts? Accounts are basically uh, any other your account, like you have your bank accounts, same as that. The Ethereum also has the accounts that maintains entire the state of your entire state. Say you want to transfer 10 ether, so you can transfer 10 ether from one account to another account, and these accounts interact with each other using the message passing framework, and each account has address associated with it, just like your bank account number. That is a 20 byte identifier. There are two types of accounts. First is a externally owned account and second is a contract account. Externally owned account is basically user account. So you as a user has custody of that account. You have the private key of that account. If you want to transfer something or make any transaction using that account, you have to sign using your private key, uh, and give the custody to transfer. And another is a contract account. In contract account, there is a no one owns that account. Basically, there is a code written, and the it is executed according to the predefined logic which is written in a contract. So yeah, that's it. The next is transactions. What are transactions? Transaction is like, say you want to transfer 10 ether from one account to another, that is transaction. But only value transfer or money transfer is not a transaction. Basically, if you are interacting with blockchain, every interaction on a blockchain is considered as a transaction. Say you are calling some function written on a contract, that is also a transaction. The contract interact internally, that is also a transaction. And the another is a externally owned account to external owned account, that is you're transferring money from one account to another account, that is also a transaction. So it can be anything. Any interaction on a blockchain is a transaction. Next is a solidity. What is solidity? Solidity is basically the most used language for the smart contract. Smart contracts, as I said, smart contract is just like any other programming language, but that solidity. Sorry, smart contracts is a contract, and we use the solidity to write the smart contracts. It's just like any other programming language. It has loops, conditional statement, that is if, else, and others. Then we have variable, functions, objects, and data types. But we can do very limited things in a blockchain, as there's a memory issue. Memory is limited on a blockchain. You cannot run, say, a very complex machine learning algorithm on a blockchain. There is also a computational capacity is also limited. Reading data is free. Say if you only want to read, say you want to check the balance of your account, that is read. There is no write operation in it. So that is free. The every write operation on a blockchain, you have to pay some cost. We called it as a gas fees. We have to pay fees to make any write operation on it. So like say you want to call any function, then that function has written some statement. So every operation has cost associated with it, and so the total of that execute that say instructions will be the gas fees you require to call that function, or say the yeah. Now time to code, we can directly jump into writing the simple Solidity contract and building the DApp. So I'll just open this link. This is a basic skeleton already there on this link. You can copy that and just clone this repo. So maybe I'm still not be sharing the screen. Uh, just give me a moment. I need to switch the share screen. Yeah, so here I have cloned this, but this screen is, the editor is visible, right? Denver?
Yes, the editor is visible.
Okay. So make sure you are on a master Solidity branch and just open this airbnb.sol file. So this is like I have made the skeleton ready. Here you need to follow the readme. So you can like check it on a Google, or I'll just open the instruction here itself, as the, you cannot share the multiple windows here. So I'll open this here. Okay, so you just have to follow this readme. So first is you can see here is a struct. You already might have know the what is struct. So struct is basically the structure type data, a data type struct data type, and we have this property struct. Oh, sorry, we have this property struct, and we have declared the name description is active, like for if property is still available, then price per day, who is the owner of property, and this is a is booked. This is a small like hack type of calendars for it's like this property is booked for this period. So what we do is we assign, there's no calendar data type in the Solidity, so we have made this hack. So what is this, say we assign 0 to 1st Jan, so 0 to 365. So if property is booked on a 31st Jan, it is like it will be allotted, like is booked for 31st will be the true, will be set to the true. That means that is booked for the 31st Jan, like that.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yeah, tell me.
can you repeat the name of the GitHub repo once again?
uh you can,
Like, where did you clone
I,
it from? What?
I am pasting it in a here chat. Okay.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Make sure you're on this master Solidity branch. Okay, I'll take these questions later on maybe. Okay. So yeah, so we're simply going to copy this struct, and if you see here, I've written insert the struct property. So I'll just replace this and insert this struct property here. Okay, so here is my property struct. Then we have this property ID. Property ID is unique ID assigned to every property. Then we have mapping of property ID to the property object. That is basically kind of array that we have this properties, total properties, and properties array basically. There is nothing array in Solidity, so this is called as a mapping. So property to property ID mapping. So we can say properties of property ID, that is properties of one, properties of two, like that. Okay, next, another, we have booking. So there is another struct called booking. So in booking, we have property ID, check-in date and checkout date, and the user who is booking it. Okay, so we'll copy this and paste here. Okay, and after that we have booking IDs. Booking ID, that is again unique ID for each booking, and the booking mapping, that bookings to booking ID mapping. Then next we have events. What is event? There is how we debug things in when we are in a code. We usually puts the log statements here, but in Solidity we don't have the logs, so we have to emit the events. So say on successful property, right, we push like we write the log statement that yes, you have successfully uh, posted your property, like that. So instead of that, we emit event here. So we have this new property event. We just have this field, that property ID. It will, this event basically returns us the property ID of a currently posted property. Then we have the new booking. So booking will be the property ID and the booking IDs. You have the booking for this property for, yeah. So like that, we have this events just for logging purpose. uh, Actually events are very useful thing, because we might have to listen that yes, on every new property push me some update, like I want to subscribe notification on that. So for that, these events are very useful. Okay, so next we have rent out property. Rent out property is basically I want to post my I have say property, and I want to post the ad for it. So this is the rent out property function. And what are these are the basic field, that what will be the name of property, what is the description, and what is the price. Okay, so first uh we'll like copy exactly this and paste it here. So here you can see here what I am doing. I am making the object of this property struct. We have property struct defined already. So I am making the object, and I am passing the name, description, and yes, this property, as I'm posting this property, it is active true, set active true. Then price. Then this is owner. Owner is a message dot sender. Message, what is message is like whenever I call any function on the blockchain, every interaction is considered as is a message passing. So who is the sender of that message, or say who is calling that function, will be the owner. So I am giving the owner as a message dot sender. Who is posting that property is the owner of that property. And then is booked as it is not booked for any days, so here I'm just initializing the boolean array for the of the 365. As I already explained, like first if I want to book for the 2nd Jan, then I'll set uh, is booked off to will be the true, so that it will not be available for the booking. Next we have after this we have this we are assigning the property ID. So it will be first, it will be the one property ID will be one. So we are, as this will be our first property, I am setting properties. Properties is a variable we have declared here, as you remember. Yes, this is mapping. So properties and properties of property ID, we are assigning that to the this mapping. So this property is assigned. Maybe just some. Okay, I'll make it quick. And yes, I have pushed this and then emitted this event by incrementing the variable that yes, this will be a property ID. So initially property ID will be the 0 and now will be the 1. So first property is emitted. Then after that we have this rent property. Rent property. I'll copy this. So rent property, again, I want to rent this property. So I'll say this property ID and this is the check-in date and check-out date. So first I'll fetch the property details from the property ID. Then I'll check if it is available. This is the required statement. Required statement is basically like assertion, or you can say I'm just checking if it is active. If it is active, then it will give you this property ID is not active. Basically it is checking for availability. Then if it's available, then it will go to the next statement and check the it will just mark these dates to the true. So it is checking for the if it is available for these dates. So yes, it will just this is like a loop. So it will start from this check-in date to the checkout date and uh, check if this property is available for this date or not, or if it's not available, then simply transaction is reverted. And then the third required statement is it will check that if this price uh, you have sufficient funds in your account for this sufficient funds. So yeah, that's it. Then next so then I'm creating this create booking. So here you go, create booking. So I just replaced it and I am creating a booking. So if you go and check, just let me go flow by flow. So I'm creating a booking for this. So I'm making the instance of this booking object, and this is property ID, then check in, and this booking is writing to the storage, and then uh, retrieving the property details, and then setting the then for that particular dates I am checking making that property unavailable, that is setting the is booked flag to the true, and then emitting the new booking event as I told earlier. Okay, so this is create booking. and then yeah, that's it. So now let me check once. So here I have to, after all this check, after all this, I just simply have to call this, that create booking function. And what is it, what it expecting? Property ID. No, why it's, maybe I mismatch somewhere. So I'm passing this property ID. Then next, check-in date. After all validations, I'm just calling the create booking functions. Okay, so this is our Solidity contract. Now what will we do? The remix tool. There is a remix tool. Okay, let me. So I have copied this code, and I'll just open this remix ID. That is basically the online tool to run the smart contract. So I'll just add and copy paste this. Then you have to compile this code. So if you check here, my Solidity version is 5.7. So make sure you have selected the right function and then compile. 99. Just a second. Okay. So again, I will compile. Okay, so now it's compiled, and now we just have to deploy. So we'll do it with using the MetaMask. So currently I'm going to deploy this on a test network. So this is the Rockstone test network. You have to configure the MetaMask. You will follow this instruction in my this README. So here you have to select this injected Web3, and then it will automatically pick up this account. If you see, this account is same as the account I have here, 332. And yes, then now just simply click on this deploy. So it is asking me for the permission, and I'll confirm. and basically transaction is getting executed. So yes, I have this contract deployed, and you have to click here on this to copy the address of this contract. And now we'll just quickly move to the DApp part. Again, new share. So here, now I have switched to the master branch, and there is a folder called DApp UI. Just go to that DApp UI, and I'm like running this basic instruction. If you go and check here, here is called dapps.readme. So you have to follow this dapp.readme in order to make follow the instruction. So first we'll copy this uh, address. Just now we are copied from the remix to this util.js. So I'll just open this util.js. And we'll paste here. Okay. And after that, you have to follow these instructions line by line. And as I have this time limit, so uh, I'll just copy, and I have the setup ready. You can also find there's a branch called complete DApps. You can find a solution there, but just following this instruction will work. So you have to follow this instruction. So it very clear instruction that first you have to copy this lines of code into the index.js file, then have to enable the MetaMask. Basically, this is what this is enabling the MetaMask permissions to the uh, to your dApps, that yes, you can access the MetaMask. Yes, here, and then you are using that account which is currently logged in into MetaMask. So you are assigning that to this here account. Then I am making the object of contract. So same, if you check here, I'll just go and directly, I think better यहाँ पे भी. So yes, here MetaMask Web3 is a library used to interact with the block to the Ethereum chain. So here I am passing this ABI. So you have to copy this ABI also. I'll showcase that. Here is the ABI.json. If you check from where I can get this, uh, uh, just a second. Here in a browser where we have deployed this, you just go to the compile code, and here you have this ABI. So you just have to copy and paste it here. Paste it here. So I just have paste this, and then you are passing that ABI and the contract address to make the object of that contract. Then I'm calling this post property function, and I have to give the price. Like I want to post property, and I have this like per day price. So I am passing that. Then I'm calling here, you can see I'm calling this rent out property method. So here rent out property, like I'm posting the ads on name, description, price. You just go the flow by flow, you'll understand. So now yes, my DApp UI is ready, I'll just run this because we have time limit. Okay, so as we have already copied this contract address here on a utils.js files, right? It's still not audible, or it's better? It is deployed on the Ropsten. It is currently deployed on a Ropsten. You can deploy on a Matic testnet. The procedure will be same. Or maybe I can show, but it's okay. You don't have to like worry about it. You whatever deployed on a Ropsten, you can as it is deployed on a Matic chain. I'll quickly demonstrate that later. So let's move forward now. So now we'll open this index.view file. Index.view file, and on the mounted method, I'll just copy paste this. So here is mounted.net, and what it is doing first, it's set provider. So what is set provider is use the injected MetaMask Web3 object as a provider. That is a set provider. And then next on mount, we are going to fetch all properties. Okay, so what is first question? What is difference between Matic testnet and Ropsten? So Ethereum, the main chain is Ethereum, and as you cannot write code and deploy with your because deploying contract also requires some amount, some fees to pay, also calling and testing. You cannot run the testing on the Ethereum chain as there are already like high Ethereum price. So there is another testnet. So there are Ropsten test network, Cohen test network. There are many other test networks. So what we do is, it is basically the test networks for the Ethereum. And what is Matic testnet? There's one Matic chain, same like a Ethereum chain. So on a Matic chain, as on Ethereum chain, you are like handling with the real money. On the Matic chain also, you gonna handle with the real money. But as we cannot directly we cannot directly deploy on a Matic chain and test our smart contracts on with the real money. So we have something called a Matic testnet. So we deploy our contract on a Matic testnet and run yes, and test it. And what is the difference between the Ethereum and Matic chain, if you want to know that? So Ethereum chain, as Ethereum, there is a problems called scalability issues, higher gas fees issues on the Ethereum chain. So Matic chain basically tries to solve uh, this scalability issues, this high price issues. On Ethereum chain, the every transaction takes at least 15 seconds to execute. So you have to wait for the 15 seconds to complete your transaction, and to your transaction to get included in a block, like to get included in a blockchain. So on the versus in the Matic chain, the block time is 1 second. So your transaction will be confirmed at the per second. So that is the difference. So where there the Matic comes into picture. And the next question is, so we want to deploy the Matic, how to get access to the method of smart contract to run. Yes, Matic is built on a Ethereum blockchain to scale the Ethereum chain. Matic is basically scaling the Ethereum chain and like yes, solving the this
So, ma'am, hello,
yes,
ma'am.
yes. And please
Hello,
don't
ma'am.
come.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So, ma'am, can you iterate what's the difference between Matic and Robston? You had told what's the difference between Matic and Ethereum. Like, what is the difference between Matic and Robston networks?
So Robston is a test network for Ethereum and
Okay.
test network. So there is no real money on a Robson. If you have money on a Robson, there is no value of that in a real world.
Okay.
And
So,
yes, and if you
yeah.
have money on a Matic, then that gonna have the value.
Okay. Thank you.
And let's do one thing. I'll deploy. Just forget about Robson. Currently, I have deployed this contract on a Robson, but I'll deploy it on a Matic chain, so that you will get understanding what is the difference. What will be a different like different configuration. Okay. So here's the MetaMask. So I don't know if you are aware of that this MetaMask, how you are handy with MetaMask, but there is a something called custom RPC. Here you have to give the RPC, and the RPC for testnet 2 say, and RPC for a Matic testnet 2 is uh, I'll share that, but here I have already added that is the testnet 2.matic.network. So I'll simply connect to that. So it is loading my Ethereum remix ID. So again, I have to follow the same process as that contract was on the Robson chain. So I'll select this 5.7, then compile code. The ABI will be same. Oh, sorry, I have forgot to use injected MetaMask tree. Okay, so yeah, here I'll deploy that contract. It is asking me to sign the transaction. I'll just confirm this. And here, as you see earlier, it had take few time, like few seconds. I think 10 to 12 seconds, but now it's like super fast. So I'll copy this. I'll copy this and paste here in my code. So that is only the difference. You have to configure MetaMask um, mm, this Matic RPC into the MetaMask. That's the only difference. Then okay, I have copied this, and then let's move forward. Then this is done. So then we have this set provider method in utils.js. So what I'll do in utils.js, I have this set provider. So I'll copy this code and paste it here. Okay, so what basically it is doing, it is picking up the Ethereum object into from your browser and assigning it to the MetaMask uh, Web3 variable, and then here is ethereum.enable, which is like uh, asking from the MetaMask to enable, like asking for the permission. Your DApp is asking for the permission to from the MetaMask. Yes, like we have this thing, DApp want to access you are something. So like that you are asking for the permission. And yes, now you, as you have the access, then you can access your account using this MetaMask gets account method. Okay, so let's go here. Here set provider method was defined in a util searches. Okay, next we're gonna follow this readme. Then we are going to create and return the contract object. Okay, so I'll just copy this and here get Airbnb contract. I'll simply paste here. So what is doing is it is ask it is as I already explained, this ABI I have already pasted here. I have declared it here that yes, from the Airbnb you're accessing that ABI. Then contract address, using the ABI and contract address, we are creating the object of this contract. Next we'll post the property. So we'll copy paste this in the property form.view. So here is a property form.view. This is the basic form to post the property, and here is the method post add. So post add, in post add, first I am accessing price from whatever price entered, and then you have to convert that into the way, and then I'm calling the post property method written in the util searches. Okay, there's something in the chat. So basically, yes, Matic deals with the real money and Robson deals with the fake currency. But here currently testnet 2 is a testnet for the Matic, that is also a testnet. So that is also not a real money, but that is a simulation of Matic chain. Like same like whatever for Ethereum you have Robson. So for Robson we have the testnet 2, testnet 3 things. So currently as we are testing, so we are also deploying on a testnet of a Matic, not the real Matic chain. As we and the next, yes, this contract will be, yes, this contract you can find this contract address on a Matic testnet test explorer, yes. And yeah, Anu have already shared this. You can go and check. So now I have called this property post property. So we'll simply go to the utils, and here we have the post property. So we're gonna fill it out. So yes, in a post property in a utils or just I simply copied this. So what is this? First, it is accessing the object of that contract. So get Airbnb, this is returning the contract object. Then I'm calling, if you see this is a contract object, and then dot methods is a way you call the contracts methods. So contract object dot methods, and I'm calling the rent out property of that contract, and I'm passing name, description and price, and then calling send. And in send you have to pass the from from which address you want to call the function. So it will be the same as the account you gonna sign, you will be signing the transaction. So as we see, we already have access this account. So so accounts of 0 will be the first address. So I'm calling that accounts of 0. So yeah, here that's it. That's it you have to do for the posting the property. What is the way value? Okay, so if you go and check, 1 ether is, there is a units called ether Wei. Wei is basically 1 ether is equal to 10 raised to 18 Wei. So as ether's price or bitcoin price is too high, you have to deal with the many decimal places. Like you cannot transfer the one ether. Like if you are paying at the coffee, you cannot buy the coffee at one ether, as maybe ether's price, today's ether price is something around $260. So you cannot buy. It's like, so you have to buy, like I want to buy it's at say 0 point something, 0.02 ether, like that. So you are converting it to the that is a basically conversion factor. So we deals with the, instead of ether we deals with the way. So you can so one way is equal to 10 raised to 18 decimal places. So you can do like 0.000 up to 18 places. So that is basically that. I hope that's clear your question. That is just a decimal conversion to deal with the such like large price. Okay, let's move forward. Not like that. So if 1 rupees, say 1 rupees, what is the like smallest fraction of 1 rupees? Say it's like 25 paisa. So 1 rupees can be divided into 25 paisa, or say so like that. So one ether can be divided into the smaller fractions up to 8, like 10 raised to 18 places, like that. I hope now it's getting clear. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's move forward. And next, so converted the ether price to the way and posted the property. Now, yeah, we have called this. Now we are going to book a property. So in details modal view, in this it is displaying the property details, and now we're gonna book the property. So in book function, so I will paste it here. So here, start date. I am like, say I have used the calendar here. So I am converting the calendar value to the number of days, like days of the year, because I have already explained we are booking like by considering 0 is a 1st January and 365 or 4 will be the last day of the year. So I'm like considering each date as a day. So I'm converting the start day and end day into the days format, and then calculating the total price. So say my current property price into ether, into the calculation that for how many days I'm gonna uh, book the property, and then calling the book property function. So it is passing the property ID, start day, end day, and the total price calculation, total price for that booking. And yes, now again go to the utils.js and fill this book property. So here I am going to call the another smart contract function. Yes, rent property. Rent property is basically the book property. So I'll copy and paste it here. So here again, accessing the contract object, then calling the rent property method of the smart contract and passing the space ID. Space ID is basically property ID, and check-in date and check-out date. And then calling the send function. Then calling the send function again from value. From, I have to give the from address, and then the value. Value will be the price. The price, yes, price, the total price I'm gonna pay for this booking. So yeah, that's it. And then that's it you have to do to book the property. Next again. Now we want to fetch the all posted property to show on the say our home screen. So in utils.js there is a function called fetch all properties. I'll simply call this, paste this here. So here again I am calling the accessing the contract function, contract object, and then calling the property id. So each property id, if you see, property id is not a method but it is a variable. So every variable will be treated as a function, so it will return us the current property id. So yeah, that's it. And if you see the difference, here we are calling the send function as that is a write operation, and here we are just simply calling as just we are reading the data from the blockchain. So here this function property id will return the property id, current property id. So here what I am doing is loop from zero property id to the currently posted property id, and one by one I am just calling this properties. Again there was a mapping called properties, and I'm calling this properties and this property id. So accessing one by one property and call, and then for each property I am maintaining this array properties here. So I'm pushing this property data into this property array and returning it. Okay, I think that's it. Now we'll simply compile and run this code. So okay, I'll open this. So here it is compiling. So if you check here, I have one ether in my account. So we're gonna use this to dot property is not function. Let me just check. So here you check the variable name is underscore property ID. No, it's so I'll just change it here to just a second. Oops, maybe my that contract is. second, maybe I missed something. This is my Explore link. I am going to check if this contract is existed on the this testnet. Yes, we have this. Maybe something is wrong. Let's redeploy it. I think I have missed something, and okay. Basically, I'm compiling the code again because I have missed this contract address and deploying again. Mm. Yes, and utils.js, I'm pasting here. And I'm going to run this again. Yeah, and here it worked. If you see here, yes. And now I'm renting this property. So set test description is test description, and price. Let's say I'm giving 0.01 0.001 and submitting this property. So it is asking me to the sign transaction. It is redirected to the MetaMask. I'll simply confirm this transaction, and yes, property is posted. Here you have to like refresh, and here you can see this property is visible here. Now I'll view, and I am going to book like say 22 to 24 and click the book now. And again, it is asking me to confirm this transaction. And yes, property is booked successfully. So yeah, that's it. So if you go and like again going to book, it will fail as we have already see 24. See here exception is thrown at the contract code. That is, it is not basically allowing us to book for that period of time. So I'll simply reject. Yeah, so that's it. So here is our simple DApp. So any question? The price is 0.0. Yes, price is 0.0 ethers, and we are converted that ether to wave inside your contract form. Yes, you can get this ether from the faucet, or you can ping me on this Telegram. I'll also share the required details. Public variable is booking ID, and in the front book you call booking ID. The booking, no, actually if you go and check The booking, that is the internal function. I don't know where you have pointed. Maybe Anubhav, you can like personally ping me. I'll solve this. Whatever you are asking. In front end, I have called. I have not called booking ID, but maybe you can contact me later. Can anyone suggest me some resources? Learn how to building the DApps. Actually, you have to explore how the things works. There is some library called web3.js. Yes. Then so you can you can go and explore web3.js library. Any other question? Yes. Here is my contract address. Just now, this is the explorer. This is the explorer for testnet 2. This is the explorer for testnet 2, and if you check here, this is a contract creation call. Then after that we have made the property posted call. Then the another is for property booking, and there is this third call, but that is if you check, there is that is not successful. So basically we have made these 2-3 interaction, and also you can go and check like this address. So we have made this function call from, that is basically the contract address, and this is my address, and from my address I have created the call. So if you go and check here, I have created the contracts. Earlier also I have created contact, but I missed something. Then these are the function call. Yeah, this is the explorer link. I can share if you are deploying on a testnet 2. We have another, this is not the latest one, but the procedure is the same. So we have the another testnets also live, so you can explore, and yes, you can ping on a Discord channel or a Telegram if you want to build something on a Matic. Any other questions? I think that's it. Okay, then maybe Denver. Oh, okay, guys, if you have any questions and find any difficulties in building something, you can connect me. And yes, you can, I don't know my Twitter handle, but my Telegram handle, but this is my Twitter handle. You can connect me anywhere. And I'm also in that Discord channel. You can ping there also.